Right then, welcome back to the second L5 Star FC live stream. We've got one special guest. We've got two special guests, actually. One who is joining the L5 Star FC YouTube team. Welcome, Ben, to the channel first and foremost. I hope you're well, Ben, and enjoying the content that is going on at the moment and the football about the Premier League. And we've also got another special guest. We've got Hussam flying. He's flying to 1K. Don Hussam from This Is Football. How are you doing, Don? How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to this video as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I've got my partner in crime, Salah. How's it going, mate? How's it going?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good.
Yeah, I'm glad you're good, and we will delve straight into it. So Liverpool, obviously, we know that they've won their first two games, drew to Chelsea on the weekend. I just want to know your overall thoughts. We obviously will go specifically into the Chelsea stuff. There's a lot of controversial aspects, a little touch on, as well as an entertaining encounter that we've seen on Saturday. However, I want to bring to you the question. Good start. Is it promising? And do you think we can win the league off the first three games that you've seen? We'll come to you, Hussam. What are your overall thoughts based off the first three games that we've seen of the Premier League from the Reds?
I don't think we can win the league. I know we can contend for it, but we can't win it because of our lack of squad depth options. Obviously, against Chelsea, it was crying out for someone to come off the bench and make an impact, make a difference. Unfortunately, we don't have a deep enough squad. We have not bought well this summer either. I think there's 1 day left till the transfer window shuts down, and to this very second, nothing yet has happened significantly. Obviously, it's very disappointing. Saul is available on loan. You have players in the French league who's struggling financially. You could go and buy like the likes of a Camavinga, who's only worth 30 million. So there are so many options in world football that we could go for, options that we need, especially the fact that we let Wijnaldum go and there's no replacement. I think there are too many auxiliary options, as in Elliot is the right wing cover, and at the same time he's the Wijnaldum replacement, which is just not good enough whatsoever. So going into the season, when you have the Champions League games that we have, the Premier League games that we have, we can't just keep playing the same 11 every single week. And I think on the long run, it's going to affect us. And yeah, unfortunately, the team we played this Saturday, I think, is going to win the league.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, you did mention the point there that we're starting the same 11 constantly, and maybe that lack of rotation. Pep is criticised for it, but that's why he's won so many trophies, because he's rotated over time to conserve his players, and that's predominantly why he's won so much. And we'll come to you, Ben. Obviously, over the first three games, do you think Liverpool can contend from what you've seen? And do you think we can win the league? Or do you think there's still work to be done on and off the field in the transfer market?
I feel like we can contend because, we still have, a good first 11, but we seriously lack in squad depth. And especially when you look at City, Chelsea, United, even Arsenal, all of them have signed players this window, and then you get us where we only signed Konate, and after that we're quiet. And the thing is, if you look at Sunday's game, we need a goal and we bring on Tsimikas. Like, that just, it shows the difference that, between us and the other teams. And yeah, I think that's about it for me. I feel like Hussam said everything that was on my mind, really.
Yeah. I think you've hit the nail on the head. Obviously, there's that rotation, and there's that, that player that can bring that impact. And at the moment, we're struggling to find that one player. Really, there's very few. It's very selective, and the one that you possibly could bring on, they're injury prone. So, can you rely on them 38 games a season? I'm not too sure. But Salah, what would you say of the three games have you seen? Obviously, 7 out of 9 points isn't a bad return. However, could be better. Obviously, that's the mentality that Liverpool have. We always try and push for 9 points out of 9. But obviously, based on the three games you've seen, what's your overall assessment going forward to the next bulk of 35 games?
I think we're title contenders. I think it would be an understatement to say that we're not. I think our starting 11 is good enough to challenge for this league title. But again, as Hussam said and as Ben said, our squad depth is a major issue. We saw that against Chelsea. We needed to go with Ball and Costa Simicas. And I think we FSG are not understanding the whole football
Yeah.
module. They not like I remember talking about it earlier. We need to invest. We need to buy some players. Like, we're not crying out for Mbappe. We're not crying out for Haaland. We're not crying out for Felix. We just want these small players like Amin Gouiri, like Saul, like Hussam said, Saul's available on loan. On loan, even if you're not paying for him, even if his wages are expensive, you're gonna for wages. Good players, of course, gonna have high wages. It's normal. That's how football is. You can even get a war on loan. That's how it is. But I think it's just so annoying. It's because Mane was having such a poor game against Chelsea, and I think if we actually had the option on the left, he could have brought him on. But I don't understand this. I think Klopp needs to charge more for signing because Klopp's calling Origi this game changer. He's not even making a bench. Klopp's calling an Ox a player with dynamic attributes, but he's not even playing him. So like, I'm confused right now. I'm just baffled because we were told all sorts of shit from the start of the transfer. We were told that we have a full homegrown squad, so we can't sign. Shaqiri goes, and apparently we don't have money. And then now apparently it's for bargains. There's so many bargains out there. Alex Mariba has just gone to RB Leipzig for 15 million euros. He was so young, and even his wages were like, it wasn't even that much. Then you have Awad, then you have Saul, then you have Gouiri, like 25 million. There's so many options out there, but I really do not know what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. I think you've hit the nail on the head as well as Hussam and Ben there. But obviously, first and foremost, I hope you're having a brilliant day. Big up to the people in the chat as well. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. And we'll get straight into it. Obviously, you did mention there the rotation. Quite a few of the answers were based on the rotation. So we'll go into the transfer situation. And it's very quiet at the moment. Salah, we'll start with you. Obviously, you know your stuff when it comes to transfers. What can you tell us from around the world of football relating to Liverpool? Is there anybody on the cards to potentially come in? Are there players potentially on the cards to go out? What's the situation around there? Was it quite quiet?
It's very quiet, just like it's been for the past 2 weeks. Again, there's one name that's popped up in the past hours. I think Sam's probably seen it on Twitter as well. Dwight McNeil, I think, but no, you can see it by his reaction. It's just like it's the only one is Dwight McNeil. But to expect a transfer deadline day, I think we're gonna have to start seeing rumors by 12 o'clock midnight. If we don't see rumors by the night, I don't think we're gonna sign anyone by tomorrow. But the only name that's popped up is Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, and I think at the moment a lot of Liverpool fans are banking on the fact that, we bought late last window, could potentially hint that we may buy late this window, but it's very unlike Liverpool to buy late in the window. And obviously with 3 games into the season, you would think that we would have done our business just before the season. However, it still could happen. Obviously, we'll come to you, Ben. What player would you like to see us bring in realistically in the next 24 hours? And what position do you think needs looking at in specifics?
We definitely have to get somebody like as a backup for the front 3, because like we saw on Sunday, like if Firmino comes off, Shota comes on, we have nobody else that we can put in and make that impact for us. So I don't know, maybe Doku to throw in the mix. I know you said realistically, but deep down I would really, really like Traore. Like after what he did on Sunday against United, I just feel like he reminds me of what Mane was in when we just signed him, where he would get into the to the proper positions, but then he would just struggle like with his finishing and stuff. So imagine what like Traore could do under Klopp. I literally see Sadio Mane in him. So other than that, can't really say anybody. Just a backup for the front 3, really, because we I feel like that is the area where we lack the most in depth.
Yeah, would you agree with that, Hussam? Do you think that we obviously need to strengthen in that department before potentially moving into the midfield or potentially seeking a fullback replacement? What would you think would be the area that Liverpool should have looked more in depth in this transfer market?
There are three areas, in my opinion. First of all, the Wijnaldum replacement, because we haven't replaced him yet. If our midfield is so great and all these options are available, why did Wijnaldum play 38 games last season? That's the part I don't get. The other thing as well, the forward line options, Mane and Firmino are no longer 2019, 2018 Mane and Firmino. They've dropped off massively, both of them. So the team needs refreshing massively. So obviously the front line and right back cover as well, because I don't rate Nico Williams as highly as some people do. I don't think he's good enough, to be honest. So I think like even realistic options, as Salar mentioned, that we've all been speaking of the entire window. You have the likes of Saul, you have the likes of the forward options like a Doku, like an etc. Adama Traore. And obviously right back cover, the one guy I wanted us to always get was Max Aarons from Norwich. So there are available options out there in the Premier League and even outside the Premier League, but we're just not making the moves for them. And to be honest, I don't even see us making the move because we're not even being linked to anyone serious. I think Dwight McNeil coming to us would be a massive travesty. Like it would actually be one of the worst transfers in Premier League history. Like honestly, that would just be horrendous to see.
Hussam, so you take Ashley Barnes instead of Dwight McNeil?
Listen. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
No, you said that. You said that.
Nah, I said Chris Wood.
Oh, hey, Chris Wood. No, you said Ashley Barnes as well.
Nah, listen, Chris Wood off the bench. It's still an option, at least. Why not?
Yeah, obviously.
He scored 10 goals. Like every season he's played in the league, he scored at least 10 goals.
Chris Wood, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect for the bench.
Yeah.
Listen, we're all just so like we just need signings so much that the standards are dropping day in, day out. So you shouldn't be surprised. At the start of the transfer window, we were doing Mbappe and Vlahovic. So now we're doing Chris Wood. So this is just what we've been through the entire transfer window.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously we've had some shocking links. Obviously we had Jared Bowen, we've had Dwight McNeil, and many more. I can John McGinn, there's another one. But obviously, Salah will come to you. Big up to everybody in the chat. We've got a comment, and someone says, the goals live, guys, big up. Salah and Mane going AFCON in January. Obviously, Ben said that we need cover for an attacker, which I full on agree, and agree well as well with Hussam, and we need to sort out that Wijnaldum replacement because you cannot not replace that consistency or that availability in Wijnaldum last season. And obviously, Salah, what would you react to this question? Who covers them with the squad that we currently have? Because, do we have Elliott in the mix? I know who Sam said before, Elliott is not good enough just yet, good enough cover. So what would you say in response to that question?
I think they just go after the Chelsea game, which was so lucky. But I'm begging that this AFCON gets cancelled again, but it doesn't look like it. I think the vaccine has helped that. But they missed Brentford, Crystal Palace, and I think Leicester. I'm not sure. They missed Brentford and Crystal Palace, but I'm not sure. But again, the Neymar one is not going to happen now. Guriri, they're going to want like 50 million because I remember Hussam was just talking about on Twitter. He was saying that at the start of the window, Fiorentina wanted 50 million for Dusan Vlahovic. Not even 50, 40. They wanted that for Dusan Vlahovic. But look now, they want 80 million euros for Dusan Vlahovic. It's because they know it's going to be so hard to find a replacement so late in this window. So they are going to try and fleece the club. He would have been such a good option, but I think now we're just going to have to. I think Doku's probably the only realistic one I see. But again, as Hussam said, we're getting linked to fucking no one. So like we can't expect nothing. It's
facts.
You don't know what to expect now. That's the thing. Like that's so.
It's so frustrating, man. But obviously, we will come to obviously the Chelsea game. But on the topic of the transfer stuff, we're not bringing players in, but this summer has been branded as an opportunity to sign contracts for the players that have not long left on their contract. And I just want to raise the question to you. the contract situation, obviously, we're set to announce the contracts of Hendo and Mo Salah. We've also completed Fabinho, Trent, Van Dijk, Alisson, and Firmino is scheduled to be in talks for a new contract as well. So what would you say? Should we praise FSG? Is this a good summer? If obviously we did buy Canate, £34 million, but to seal all the signings, right? Hussam, will come to you. I know what you're gonna say, but what's your response to that? And should we praise them for the work that they've done? Have they got the backing? Have Liverpool got the backing from FSG?
No, we shouldn't praise them because the contract thing could have been dealt with during the season. You can sign contracts at any point in the entire year. You can only do transfers in these 2 months. So this is why you should do transfers now. You can do contracts during the season. I'm not gonna praise them for tying down players to long-term contracts. You can do that during the season. This is the wrong time to do this. This is obviously just a smoke screen, so everyone goes like, oh yeah, we've signed a player blah 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 to a long-time contract. Let's all celebrate. It's not good enough. We can't just look at contract situations and go like, oh yeah, let's all just have a happy day and we move forward. Contract situation could have been dealt with throughout the season. Trent would have extended anyway. The players who extended would have extended anyway throughout the season. You have only 2 months to make transfers, so you know what you should go out and do? Make transfers. So we didn't do any transfers in this transfer window except Konate. The excuse all summer was that Shaqiri was taking that non-homegrown squad spot, and now he's gone. So that non-homegrown squad spot is no longer a problem. So there's no more good enough excuses. We need to strengthen, we need to buy. And now in the next 48 hours we have, it's basically a 48-hour not even 48 hours, basically 24 hours and a bit. 24 hours and a bit, like literally to save our season, because if we don't sign anyone, we are not going to win anything this entire season. It's not going to be possible with the lack of squad depth options we have. So we're just get your seatbelt on and get strapped for a long season. So the scenario that happened against Chelsea, you can expect that to happen 100 different times. So get ready.
Yeah, there's Hussam's message. Get ready, strap your seatbelts in. Obviously, we'll be covering the content on L5 Star FC, but we'll just mention a few comments. Wakas says apparently the severity of Firmino's injury will decide if Liverpool go out and buy an attacker. We will talk about that later on when we come to the Chelsea stuff. But big up to Wakar for commenting. We also have Diamuid Kelleher. Can do that during the season though. FSG are trying to trick us 100%. And Ben, we'll come to you now. Obviously, there's 365 days to get these contracts signed. This summer, this transfer window, hence. The word is in the whole idea of transfer window. That is an opportunity to transfer players in and out the club. Why aren't Liverpool doing this? And it's clearly some form of trying to distract us from the reality that we're not bringing players in and we're not strengthening. So what is your obviously response to that question? And should we praise FSG for the work that they've done to try and tie these big assets down to these contracts?
No. Like I couldn't agree more with like this comment. Like this mass contract signing, whatever you want to call it, in like the past like month and a half, it doesn't help with anything. Because like Hussam said, most of those players would have signed extensions already. And speaking of, is Firmino's contract really is it really something that, is that urgent? That you have to sign it now and you're focusing on that instead of going out and buying new players.
He's not even supposed to be giving it. Sorry to interrupt. He's not even supposed to be.
No.
Yeah, I think by the time of his end of his contract, like as much as he's done for us, that's the pass now. He has to go.
Yeah.
We got an offer for 55
Firmino's
million pounds. We had an offer for 55 million pounds this summer and we rejected that. I don't know why we did.
I would have taken it.
He's 30 now as well. And like he's on the decline and we still rejected that. This is the thing.
My biggest fear is that FSG is gonna wake up late, like how they did last season when we had our whole centre back crisis, and only then they decided to sign Konate. Because when Salah and Mane leave in January, we'll be left with probably Jota, Firmino.
What? Yeah,
Minamino, Oxlade,
Firmino, like Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Don't forget game
Is
changer
Origi even
Origi.
still a Liverpool player? So
Yeah, he's a game changer.
Unfortunately, he still
He's a
is.
game changer. Do you not hear what Klopp said? He's a game changer.
Oh,
And Ox
man.
has dynamism you can't
Yeah.
buy in the transfer window. Remember.
Yeah. Obviously,
But honestly,
yeah,
bro,
big up.
FSG out, dude. Like for real. Like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
FSG
factual.
in until probably
The
last
Super League?
season. Yeah,
The Super
actually
League?
until the Super
Or
League,
just
until
before
the
that?
whole no, till the whole Super League like fiasco. I was FSG in, and then after that, I was like, okay, no, you have to go because I
Yeah,
mean the transfer
100%.
window isn't what it used to be. You aren't gonna get bargains for like it's gonna be so difficult to get a bargain for 10 million, dude. Like
Yeah.
But even the
Yeah.
bargains we're not doing, Ben. That's the problem.
that's
The
that's
French
because
league
this
is
is
starving for money. They're starving for
yeah.
money. There are so many bargains there. Camavinga would probably, if you went to buy him last summer, he would have cost 50 million. Now he costs
Exactly.
25, 30 million. Doku's going to cost 25, 30 million. All these, Hussam Awar is going to cost 25 million. So many, even the bargains we're not doing. That's the part
Yeah,
that's so
the thing
annoying.
is, you see, like FSG say that they want bargains and stuff, but we aren't even going for bargains. So it's like
That's the thing.
Bargains out there.
that's
the
just
thing.
it.
Yeah. Brilliant points there by the lads. But obviously, Pro Club Goal says, wouldn't surprise me if they announce Salah's contract deadline date to distract fans from 100%, mate. The club are deliberately not announcing the severity of the injury until after deadline day so they don't get slaved. Or they could announce it tomorrow and then go and buy somebody, because that's what they did for the Matip situation, wasn't it? Last season in January.
But unless they know it themselves, I think they would. But like, they should have announced a scan by now. That's the thing. Like, he had this scan on Saturday. It's now Monday. It should have been announced. Unless they know it. They probably know the severity, but we haven't seen the player linked at all. But I think the Matip one was a day before, then we signed the player the day later. But the thing is, that's just a one-off in my opinion. I don't think we're going to do that again. I don't see us being that urgent in the transfer window. Unless Firmino's out for 3 months. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, Atletico Madrid, I believe, was the team that bid £55 million. And then someone says, "We have a Origi, boys, calm down." I mean, if we all had that sort of that instant calm nature, I think there'd be something wrong when that man is
He's
putting
a game
the same
changer,
sentence.
remember, boys.
Yeah, he's a game changer. Obviously, we'll move on. And we'll move on the topic of the transfer stuff. Michael Edwards is reportedly set to leave Liverpool Football Club. Now, I believe that the situation means that he could leave next season. No club is being mentioned in mind. Obviously, there was a report, I think, last Friday that Real Madrid were the team that were trying to entice him over. But obviously, Michael Edwards, he's been a massive part in the recruitment process behind Liverpool for the last I don't know how many years, but he's been pivotal. He's been instrumental to that success that we got over that 18, 19, 20 season. So obviously, what are your overall thoughts about this? We'll come to you, Salah, first. What's your thoughts on the Michael Edwards situation? Are you gutted? Although his assistant director should be promoted to be the person who looks to recruit players. So is that a good thing? Is that light at the end of what isn't a positive story to look at?
Number one, I think he's helped us a lot. I think he's also changed a lot of club decisions. Like when 2017 came in the summer transfer window, Klopp really wanted Julian Brandt, but Julian Brandt wasn't keen on Liverpool. I think his Sam knows. But then Michael Edwards was like to Klopp, trust me, Mohamed Salah is the real deal. And look where we are now. But I think it's kind of odd that this news has come out the last 2 days of transfer window. Don't know whether Edwards' reps have leaked it. Don't know whether the Liverpool stores have leaked it. But I am going to say we cannot turn against him and say, why are you going? You can't, you this and that. That guy has Real Madrid on the table. Anyone in the world would want to go to Real Madrid. As much as everyone hates them, Real Madrid are the pinnacle of football. Literally, they are in debt, and look who they're pulling, Kylian Mbappe. They've just submitted another bid. Bro, if Edwards goes there, I'm not even surprised. The money he's going to have, he's going to be cooking. He's going to get Real Madrid back to the Galacticos era. He's going to get Real Madrid back to the pinnacle of football again. Edwards, I don't really blame him if he runs down his contract again, but these past these last 2 summers, I don't think he's been at his greatest. I don't know what reason that is. Offloading plays, he hasn't been sharp. Getting plays in, maybe Jota and Firmino were good buys, but this summer it hasn't been it. But again, we have to give props to the guy because he's been a big process in rebuilding us and getting us back to where we were.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, you mentioned there that we've had that he hasn't been on form, possibly potentially this summer. But then, you need the whole network of FSG around you to sort of influence your type of status as obviously that financial director and recruiting the players that we've brought in. And if he's not getting that support from FSG, you can't really blame Edwards. And obviously, Ricardo can't blame him. We don't sign in anyone, so only does his job once in a while. This is where the downfall starts.
Even if he does go, I think we have Julian Ward who took the same. He took the same path that Edwards took, and I think he's a good sporting director as well. So I think Edwards going would be a blow, but not that much big of a blow like everyone's making out to be, because Julian Ward is still a very good sporting director.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a little debate going on in the chat, which we will bring to you guys. But obviously, you did mention they will come to you, Hussam. Obviously, Edwards leaving. I think Julian Ward, obviously, this whole story that he could be that success plan. Is that going to be the case, do you think? Because we don't really know an awful lot. But what are your overall thoughts on that? The whole situation of Michael Edwards set to leave Liverpool, I think it's a massive blow. But what are your thoughts on the whole case?
I think it's a travesty, obviously, with Michael Edwards, very important man at the club. Very, very, very annoyed to hear the news about him. Obviously, maybe he's just not given the funds, as you say, to spend. Maybe Klopp stopping him. You never know. We don't know the situation in and out. I think if he goes to Madrid, like Salar said, he's probably the type of guy to get Mbappe for 60, 70 million. Like, he's just that type of person. So Michael Edwards is a very, very good person at the role he does. You can't confirm that Julian Ward is going to have the similar impact or even close to what Edward done. The thing is, people are now arguing within themselves. Like, some people think Michael Edwards is probably more important to Liverpool's success than even Klopp, because like he was the one who actually influenced the Mane and Salah signings, because Klopp wanted Götze and Julian Brandt instead of them both. But obviously Edwards influenced him to get Salah and Mane, which obviously we've seen how much that has paid off. So, Michael Edwards, very smart, savvy man, immediately was a very good role player in the entire structure we had at the club. So very sad to hear him go. But I don't blame him. The grass may be greener somewhere else because of our situation. So I'm not really sure Michael Edwards wanted to speak to Dwight McNeil's agent when he first worked with Liverpool. This is just what we have to deal with now.
Yeah, exactly. And Ben, obviously, will come to you now on this. Obviously, he's been pivotal, hasn't he? And obviously, to lose him, if he's not getting the support and he's not getting that backing from the people he needs it most, then you can't blame him if that's what he decides to do. And obviously, let's not be around the bush. He has won a Champions League, Premier League. Potentially, he may want to pursue other options because he's done what he set out to do and part of the project. So obviously, Ben, what are your overall thoughts on the situation on Michael Edwards?
Am I allowed to swear on you?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Fucked.
Yeah, vent your frustration.
We fucked. Like that's how I feel. We fucked. Because whenever you say like they want bargains and stuff, we were only able to make those bargains happen because of Michael Edwards. And now that he's gone, we're fucked. And I can't see into the future. I hope I'm wrong. But when Klopp leaves for his sabbatical, then we're seriously fucked. Because, like I said, man, Michael Edwards was the one who, made all these big transfers happen. And I mean, like, obviously, if he can't do his job, he'll want to leave. Like, I mean, he could go to Real Madrid, he can go to PSG. He could, like, I'm just thinking like the transfers he could pull off there are insane. Like he could probably become, one of the most well-known sporting directors, you know, because of
Yeah.
what he's capable of doing. Like, I mean, look at like we still benefiting. I was speaking about it earlier on, like with one of my mates. Like we still benefiting now from the Coutinho transfer. That's how good he
Yeah.
is. So now imagine what he could do if he has the resources and the backing from a proper board of directors and proper owners.
Yeah, exactly. And, you said it there, we are in deep, deep trouble if, we can't persuade him. Look, Klopp has done it in the past. Hopefully he can do a madness again and try and persuade him. But we shouldn't be relying on Klopp to do this. We should be, like you said, that he needs better people around him, better board of directors, people to work with who can influence and impact us as a football club in a positive way and on the right trajectory. That is the biggest thing. Obviously, I believe Hussam's only got 10 more minutes, so we will jump straight to the Chelsea reaction. Obviously, this was a game filled by a lot of controversy, a lot of entertainment. Hussam, what are your thoughts on it? Obviously, how would you treat this? I think you said at the start of the show that it was a disappointment. I assume you're going to say it's 2 points lost rather than a point gained. But obviously, what are your overall thoughts and your overall assessment of the game and Anfield on Saturday?
It's definitely 2 points lost. I think it's embarrassing that Chelsea had 10 men and we still couldn't score the second goal past them for 45 minutes. And, the fact that you just see the same things over and over. Mane, like people are happy about his contract. I don't even think he deserves a new contract. I'd let him go next summer easily and not even flinch about it. Same with Firmino. Firmino was poor the entire time. Jota should have started.
Here we go.
In my opinion, Jota should have started 100%. He scored 2 goals in 2 games. He 100% should have kept his starting role. But I think Firmino tactically probably should have started as well. My front three for the game was Jota, Firmino, Salah. Sorry, so that was my front three. I think Jota coming off that left wing. Firmino obviously because he needed to stop Jorginho. We needed Firmino. The problem is, if City were in our position, they would have won that game 3-4-1. We are not ruthless enough. Mane's decision making in the final third is shocking. Same with Firmino. Salah can do it on his own every single game. The midfield as well was like the substitutions took too long. I thought Thiago was going to come on at halftime because he's the best in these situations where he dictates tempo, he creates something, he does something different. So I thought Thiago would come on. I even thought Oxlade-Chamberlain could come on for that long shot ability, like at least try something different. But Klopp took too long to make the substitutions. The only positive out of literally the only positive out of that entire game is Van Dijk and Matip pocketing Lukaku. Like if Van Dijk and Matip opened their pockets after the game, a mini Romelu would appear. Like that's how much they pocketed him. Van Dijk won 100% of his aerial duels, 100% of his ground duels as well. So, for all that Lukaku hype, I went on the terrace, I went on so many shows, and I guaranteed Lukaku would not score at Anfield. And I was right, bro. This guy is never gonna do it at Anfield. So that's the only positive I take. Van Dijk and Matip were great. I also thought, to be honest, Trent was brilliant as well. He was very good against Chelsea. The final thing I'm gonna say is, I think the way he played the first 2 games, I felt really bad for Tsimikas that he didn't play. So that one as well, because Robertson as well, if we're being completely serious, didn't have the best of games either. So I thought Tsimikas maybe with that game freshness, what he has, probably would have impacted the game more. But it's embarrassing, and it's definitely 2 points lost because it's against 10 men and it's at Anfield. If it was away at Stamford Bridge, we might have a conversation. But at Anfield, we need to win.
Yeah, exactly. I think the best thing, obviously Liverpool, we want to win every game that we play, but the thing that is obviously boasted around quite a bit around these competitions and the intense competitions against very good teams is win your home games and don't lose your away games. And we should be beating Chelsea with 10 men, 100%. But there was some element of positivity to take from the game, but overall, the result is all we care about at the end of the day, isn't it? So obviously we'll go through a few comments and it goes back to the FSG situation. A few people, Shea Trina's actually FSG in. The Goals Live guys and Drill Hub and Wakar have all triple teamed up against him. So yeah, look, there is no excuse for the job that FSG have done. It's nothing apart from shambles. But Klopp not getting backed up for what he's achieved at this club already annoys me so much, man. 100%, bro. And someone says, MU fan we need a great midfielder like our magician Coutinho and a great finishing striker. And someone's put MU fan with a pair of eye emojis. A bit of an odd comment coming there from a Man United fan, but obviously big up to yourself. Thank you for commenting. And guys, please smash that like button. That is my channel there, so smash that subscribe to that channel. That'll be much appreciated. But obviously, Hussam, you hit the nail on the head there, mate. And obviously, Ben will come to you. Obviously, me and Salah were talking about this in the match reaction yesterday. Klopp's man management and bringing players on later than usual has been flagged up quite a bit over not just this season, last season as well. Why did Thiago come on so late? What do you think that needed to happen on Saturday should have happened in order for us to have gone on to win the game? What do you think went wrong on Klopp's behalf?
By the way, Shea is being sarcastic, just so you know. He's basically copying what the top heads on Twitter say, like, FSG saved the club, etc. The effect of COVID. I clocked onto you, Shea. I know you're not.
I just want to quickly say, racism is, we don't condone racism. Yesterday, Hussam was racially abused on Twitter, and it's unacceptable, especially as a fan base. We all have to stick together, and there's no place for racial abuse in our football community. So I just wanted to say that. It's very sad about that.
Big up.
Yeah, respect, bro. Obviously, I didn't know about that, but obviously, that's not allowed in any form. But yeah, respect to you, man, and respect to Salah for flagging it up, because it needs to be brought onto these platforms so we can sort of raise as much awareness as we can. But obviously, Ben, obviously we talked about Klopp's man management. What's going wrong with his man management and bringing players on? I think when we had Shaqiri, was bringing him on a little bit too late when we were hoping for that. Is that final pass which he could have done? But what's going wrong, man? It's just mad, man. Why did he bring him on so late?
I have no idea. I don't have a reason why he could have brought him on later than he did. For me, Thiago should have came in maybe 50th minute, 50 to 60, because there's no point in having impact players if you don't give them time to make an impact. Like, there's no use bring on, Thiago or Ox or anybody off the bench when there's 10 minutes left. Like, he's barely gonna do anything. So if you want your impact players to to do something, then bring them on with 30 minutes left, 40 minutes left. Let them get a feel of the game. Maybe change something up, change the system. Because, if we're losing, the only thing we can rely on are impact subs. We can never, change our system. You'll never see us go to maybe 4-2-3-1, or it rarely happens, 4-2-3-1, or just change things up, try and, catch our opponent off guard. Because, it seems like, if we can't score, there's that. If they have our number, they have it. It doesn't seem like, we have a plan B or a plan C or anything.
Yeah.
And if you look at, Sunday's game, I was so disappointed, especially because, over the past few years, it's like I stopped being afraid of Chelsea because, of the whole, after Sarri and Lampard, I was just a thing of it's Chelsea. It's a game that I would expect us to win. And obviously, they do have a new coach and stuff now, but we still have a really good side, and a man down, a defender down. We're supposed to take advantage of that,
Yeah, 100%. 100% facts, Ben. I believe that Hussam needs to shoot off. So, Hussam, where can the people find you for future reference? And thank you, penultimately, for coming on, taking the time out of your day to just show some support. And, I hope that your channel reaches every success it can. But obviously, where can the people find you for future reference?
Thank you so much to Aled and Salar, actually, who managed me to message me to come on the channel. Pleasure working with you as well, Ben. Big up to all three of you. Everyone, please like and subscribe to this channel as well. Sorry, I'm gonna have to dip because I have four or like 3 or 4 live shows today. So
He's a busy man.
I had hectic work. So my channel is called This Is Football. It's a channel for all football fans, no matter who you support. We're currently closing in on 1,000 subscribers, so we're just 15 subscribers away. So please do go subscribe and support the channel. We do content for all Big 4 clubs, and we do watch-alongs, all that good stuff you're gonna find. And tonight we actually have Howler Association on, where we discuss all the Howlers throughout the week. So the Howlers this week are Wolves, it's Villa, it's Arsenal, of course, and most importantly, it's Man United for buying all those players and still playing shit football. So just come on the Howler Association video, enjoy the stuff, subscribe and support all 3 guys as well, whatever they do. And thank you guys for having me, and hopefully we'll work together.
I just want to quickly say something. Real Madrid and PSG have stopped talks with Kylian Mbappe. Let keep. Imagine if Kylian Mbappe
it's not
comes
gonna
to
happen.
Dublin.
It's not gonna happen.
Never gonna happen.
Wissam,
No hope.
You have to shave your head again.
I'll speak to the people I speak to. If there is a hope, I'll let you know, but 90% no hope. So just lose your hope already. We're being linked to Dwight McNeil, and you think we're gonna sign Mbappe, Salah? Come on, man. You think Mbappe is coming to play with Dwight McNeil on the other wing? Allow it, man. See you guys. See you, man.
See you, man. Take care.
Pleasure,
Take care.
Sam. See you later.
Take care.
Thanks, my brother.
Pleasure, bro. Pleasure as always. And obviously it's us 3 now. L5 Star FC's put in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Hussam. Go and subscribe to his channel. The link's in there. I will also put the link in the description as well. Alan, one sec, right? So we're gonna go back to the Chelsea stuff. We're gonna come to you, Salah. And it was a lot. We talked about obviously Klopp's man management, what went wrong. Ben alluded to it before that we wanted that killer instinct to come off the bench. We brought on Kostas Tsimikas, and I think that was a mistake that Klopp made in not starting Tsimikas, because you can't knock someone who's been playing really well, and that's probably the same situation for Naby Keita. But obviously we'll touch on the controversy before we wrap up today's show. And obviously that red card, that penalty, that incident, in a way, stopped us from winning the game, because Chelsea would have never put 8 men in the box and with a half decent goalkeeper. So what was your reaction to the controversy on the stroke of half time?
I said it to you yesterday. I think we would have been better off if Chelsea hadn't got a red card. I think we would have won if Chelsea weren't played all the 11 man. I think the reason being, you can call me deluded, saying that 11 to 10, how does that make sense? It's because Chelsea would have been more potent with their fullbacks. They would have pushed them more back. Because in the second half, I only saw 2 moments where Marcus Alonso actually went near our box to cross the ball. He was always staying back. He was same with Azpilicueta. They were always staying back. And I think if they had that Reece James, I think they would have been more attacking. We could have brought on a Thiago later on, and that's where we would have probably been able to kill them through the space and probably get the game done. But I think I think again, I didn't watch the first opening half, most of it. I can just go off for the second half. But again, why did Thiago not come on when we were controlling the game? Because we were controlling the game until up to the 55th minute. Thiago should have come on the 50th minute. I don't care if it's 5 minutes after half time. You bring on Thiago. Thiago would have exploited every single part of space when we were dictating the whole. When we were dictating to the game, he would have exploited every single space. Or have easily could have played the ball. The only person who could actually play the ball there was Trent and Salah that whole game. Because Robertson's balls were awful. Mane's balls were awful. Elliott's balls were half decent. Trust me, the only people that could actually play the ball. Look, Salah nearly got an assist from his Travella where Jota accidentally headed it over the bar. It just again, it goes back to Klopp's man management. Like, come on, bring the players on early. But I think in terms of performance, we should have won that game. Come on, it's 10-man Chelsea. Although I'm saying that it would have been better for 11-man Chelsea to verse. we should have won that game. That's 2 points dropped. But hey, international break now, innit? We move on to Leeds after that. It's going to be a tough game, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and obviously, we'll come to you, Ben, on the whole controversy. Obviously, what are your thoughts on that? How that changed the game in a way, and do you think that if that red card wasn't to happen, do you think that? Because do you know what? I think a lot of people are saying we would have won that game if it was 11-11, and that game had massive consequences for me. Because, it was so early in the season. It was a chance to get a marker down, but it was a psychological advantage if we went on to beat Chelsea. And I think failing to do that, I don't know who that point favours more. I think it favours Chelsea more. But what are your overall thoughts on that? That madness on the stroke of half time and how that affected the game.
But like what you said, it benefited Chelsea more than it did us. The draw at Anfield, because I mean this was our first proper test against a big side at home, and failing to win with it's kind of a bit of a knock, especially because we were starting to gain that stride. But in terms of the red card, I honestly feel like if Chelsea didn't have that red card, they would have maybe opened up a bit more, and that would have, allowed us to, make more chances. But other than that, that's all I can say. Like, I feel like it was a red card though. That's my opinion. Definitely a red card. I saw some people posting that it shouldn't have been a red and stuff, but I feel like it is a red. I mean,
It's because I was talking to
luckily
Alex as well. It's because the way he moved his arm during trying to block the ball. I think a lot of people calling it a natural position. I don't get how you can call that a natural position. His arm was all over the place, which is why he got a red, and I think it's deserved.
Yeah, it's obviously, look, I think it was a pen, 100%. And look, I think obviously the red card, I wouldn't have been, when that incident happened, put it this way, if a red card wasn't be given, I would be saying that's a red, he should be off. However, in the letter of the law, that is a red card, and that is what we've been crying out for, is consistency. And if that was to happen next week or the week after, obviously because of international break, and that wasn't if that was given a red card and ours wasn't, then there'd be a different conversation. But the fact that they've got to stick by the letter of the law, I think can only be a positive thing. But because everyone has different perceptions of different incidents, like if you went and two-footed someone could say that's a yellow card, and then the next ref could say that's a red card. Do you know what I mean? But that is a wrap for the show. Obviously, we had a bit of breaking news there. Real Madrid have made a verbal £200 million offer for Kylian Mbappe, but agreement couldn't be reached. Talks are now over. It's mad. Let's see what happens on his behalf. I still think you've got a Real Madrid because, look, like Sam said, if we're linked to Dwight McNeil, what is the chances we're going to land Kylian Mbappe next year? It's absolutely mad. But please follow the lads on Instagram. Ben, thank you for joining us. Obviously, we hope that you'll be part of the channel now, so we'll be seeing you a lot more. So where can the people find you so they can stick to your socials?
On Instagram, it's nonchalant, non.CHALNT, and on Twitter, it's Benoit, BENOIDT.
Yeah, no worries at all. I'll just drop them in the description, so it's an easy click, and just drop him a follow, and then you'll be sticked and linked to Ben.
Yes,
obviously, Salah, where can the people find you? Obviously, you have a football news channel on Instagram. What is that for the people?
Yeah, just follow my football news account, Football News Extra. Always posting in there. The grind never stops, especially deadline day tomorrow. So yeah, give that a follow.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to stay linked to the next Fabrizio Romano, I'd recommend you go and follow the Football News Extra. And obviously, if you guys didn't already know in the chat and the people with me, I have a YouTube channel myself. Please subscribe to Klopp Talk TV. The link will be in the description, along with all the other lads' socials. And all that leaves me to say is thank you to Ben, thank you to Salah, thank you for you guys in the chat. We will see you very soon. Content don't stop. The grind don't stop. We will see you very soon.